I'm Gage McAfee. I'm a lawyer originally, and more recently for the last 20 plus years I've done private equity in Hong Kong. I actually first came to Hong Kong on my way to Vietnam, where I was working for the State Department, and that was in 1969. And then I ended up staying in Vietnam for 2 years. I came back to Hong Kong on R&R twice. So I came to Hong Kong finally more permanently in 1976. But it really didn't, frankly, interest me that much because it was a small British colony. And remember in those days, no tunnels. You took the ferry to get to the airport. I mean, of course, the Mandarin had just been built, and the Jardine House, the Conant Center, Jardine House. So a lot has happened since then. But the major difference is China, opening China. And that came after I moved here in 1978. So that's a major change from a small British colony, very nice one, very efficient, very pleasant, very safe, but not that fascinating. The excitement and the challenge and the incredible development has really been China. It made Hong Kong a much more exciting place, even though going to China was kind of dismal because it was fun, but the hotels were terrible. And you had these 6 o'clock dinners where the counterparts would come out of the woodwork. But it made Hong Kong a much more interesting place. And I would say the American Chamber played a role because particularly in the beginning, it was hard to deal with China. So, through the CCPIT and other people, we had access. And there was a lot of goodwill. So I was, as I mentioned, chairman in 85 and had been here a while then. And I actually became an advisor to the Basic Law Consultative Committee. I think one of the biggest contributions we made was saying that we should have permanent residence. And Article 24 gives anybody who stayed longer, except the maids who are on contract, another story, but people can become permanent residents. That is such a great, convenient thing. We can vote, not for the CE, but we vote for the other elections. The other thing that I was involved with because I was a lawyer, supporting the rule of law, the greatest British legacy in their colonialization, their empire, was the common law. The rule of law is really one of Hong Kong's most significant edges. So we, in the legal committee, we played a pretty active role in discussing those issues. So the Chamber was heavily involved with that whole process and the lead up to 1997.